the Seattle Seahawks. Everyone knows they traded Russell Wilson after the worst season of his career in Seattle. They went 7-10 last year. They also released Bobby Wagner. They released Carlos Dunlap. So Gerald Everett bounced. DJ Reed left. Carlos Dunlap was released. Like, they have lost a ton this offseason. And they brought in Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris in that trade with the Broncos. Marquise Goodwin is like a notable free agent, which I think is a problem for Seattle. They just couldn't really do a whole lot. And then, in the draft, of course, they get Charles Cross and Kenneth Walker. But, man, and their win total is 6. Dajani, it is really difficult to find a reason to like the Seahawks.
Nope. In fact, I actually published on CBSSports.com earlier this week. The under is a best bet for me entering the 2022 season. I think best case scenario, they go 5-12. With that being said, I don't know how you're feeling about this quarterback situation. I don't think this is final, right? Pete Carroll can act all he wants, and he's confident in the guys he currently has.
Same thing about Russell Wilson too.
Yeah. You can never believe what he's saying. Any of these coaches, just in general. I think it's very possible that Baker Mayfield could be playing football in Seattle this year. I don't know how much he really improves this roster, as you mentioned. Charles Cross is obviously a welcomed addition on the left side of the line. But at the same time, I think this offense is going to be really relying on the run game with Rashad Penny, Kenneth Walker, Chris Carson. I mean, they got a ton of guys, DJ Dallas, Travis Homer, but we still have questions on the defensive side of the ball. I like some of the additions they made, but at the same time, I don't think anyone's expecting this will be a top 10, top 15 defense in the league. Looking at the roster, the one thing I want to bring up as well is that, we talked about on an earlier podcast that the AFC West may be the best division in the NFL. I wonder what this line would be if Seattle was not playing the AFC West. But because they are, and our over-under is currently sitting at 6, I'm going to take the under, and I think this is a good bet to make.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's pretty obvious. All right, I've been saying all for the past few weeks and really all off season, people people be like, what do you think? What's Seattle's plan? It's I don't know. I have no idea what they think they're doing, trading Russell Wilson and rolling with Drew Lock. It's hard, but I think I figured it out. They just want to be, they think they're going to be like the 2012 or 2011, 2010 Seahawks, trying to find a Russell Wilson to plug in, but just, work, rolling with Tavares Jackson and, Matt Hasselbeck in the final year of his career. Just, just trying to patch things together, Scott's tape, a quarterback situation, run the ball a ton and try to play good defense and be like this team that, for instance, Denver, they want the final score to be 15-12.
Yeah.
They don't want to get involved in any shootouts. I think they're just going to be a team that tries to grind you out. And I don't think it's going to work with the personnel they have. It's just too hard for me to believe. I trust in Pete Carroll. I think he's a good head coach. Yeah, I definitely agree that he could be taking a more modern approach to offense lots of times, and that's probably been a bit of his downfall in terms of allowing this team to Russell Wilson getting traded, right? I think you got to take the under here. I don't see how you can bank on Seattle getting to 7 wins, knowing they're playing the AFC West and they've got a very formidable conference where they don't have Russell Wilson there to balance it out at all anymore.
No, and I want to say that I think you made a really good observation. I think that Seattle wants to be a TOP squad, right? Time of possession, dominate that, and then you can think that you can find a way to win. The thing is, and I want to say too, I have an eye on these running backs when it comes to fantasy. I think it's going to be interesting to see what the rotation is going to be and see which one kind of shows up. It might be Kenneth Walker as RB1, which would be kind of interesting. But if you're going to be a TOP squad, then the defensive side of the ball is going to have to show up every single Sunday. And Seattle's defense historically over the past couple of years has not been one of the better units in the NFL, which is why I think the strategy that we both are predicting Pete Carroll and that Seahawks brass is trying to undertake and adopt is not really going to work, especially when you reside in the toughest division in the NFL or one of the toughest divisions in the NFL that also has to play the other toughest division in the league as well.
Yeah, I mean, the schedule, you're getting the entire AFC West. You get Denver coming to town and Russell Wilson revenge game in week 1. You're at San Francisco. You should probably beat the Falcons at home. I don't think at Detroit is a guaranteed win.
Nope.
I mean, even when you want to be conservative and give it to them, so let's say they're 2-2 there. You lose at New Orleans, so you're 2-3. I'll give them a split against Arizona. So 3-3. Lose to the Chargers. I guess they could beat the Giants. That's 4. Lose the final 2 going into the bye. And so you got 4. So you can't give up 3 wins after the bye. They do get the Jets and Panthers at home. I mean, oh boy. Like there's no other path to 6 wins, but everything's got to break right, I think.
Yep, I think you're right. I think you gave him one more win than I did right before that Week 11 bye. I think I was nice and
lost to Detroit.
Yeah. Oh, that's true too. I gave them, in that second half of the stretch of the schedule, I gave them, I think, like a win in Carolina, maybe a win against New York, and maybe that's obviously being kind as well, because who knows what the Panthers are going to look like. But that's why I think best case scenario is really that 5-12 mark, and even if you get to 6, you're going to push there anyway.
Yeah, I think exactly. I think they're probably a 5-win team, and that's why the under's juice, right? Like Vegas thinks the under is the play there as well, and so do we. I think Seattle under is probably one I'd bet. Like